I know. Electric scooters are all the rage nowadays, and we are going all gaga over them. But just like chivalry, petrol-powered gearless scooters aren't dead yet. In fact, they are here to stay. And there's a new sub-segment that is slowly taking up the scene called the sports scooter segment. And now Hero has its own contender in the sports scooter segment called the Xoom. Welcome to BBC Top Gear Mag India. This is Anand Pandey, and here's everything you need to know about the recently launched Hero Xoom. The Hero Xoom follows the traditional recipe of how a sports scooter should look like. It looks sharp and aesthetic from each and every angle you look at it. Up front, we get to see halogen bulb indicators mounted on top of the front apron, just like we have already seen on the Ntorq, the Grazia, the Effortless and the likes. But what the Xoom does differently is that it gets edge-shaped LED DRLs up front and an LED projector headlamp. Now that we are talking about the illumination offer, we have to talk about its unique trick that it has, which is the cornering lights. Forgot to tell you, first in segment cornering lights. Now we already tested the cornering lights last night when we rode the Xoom for around 3 to 4 kilometers around Gurgaon. So the thing is, they are a neat addition. Although I would like the throw of the cornering lights to be a little more widespread because the throw falls right here. The Xoom also gets 12-inch wheels at both the ends with diamond cut alloys. Now we are seeing this setup on a Hero scooter for the very first time. Now in terms of braking performance on offer, up front we get to see a 190mm disc brake up front, and at the rear it gets a 130mm drum brake. The 12-inch wheel setup at both the ends has made the Xoom a very surprisingly agile scooter, but we'll come to that later on. As we move towards the rider's view, we get to see a Bluetooth-enabled instrument cluster which shows your basic calls and SMS alerts, apart from also displaying real-time mileage. Another neat addition is the inclusion of 2 pockets up front to either stash away your phone or other knickknacks. The Xoom also gets a USB charger up front. The Xoom feels like a very compact scooter because the real estate, be it the way you look at it and the way it feels, it is very compact. And that feeling is further accentuated by the limited space that we have on the floorboard. So carrying a gas cylinder on this feels like a very distant dream. I really like the way the Xoom looks from the rear end as well, because the sleek and sporty design philosophy is carried towards the rear too. And then there's a pillion grab rail handles which are neatly integrated within the body panels. Then there's the signature LED tail lamp unit and these aerodynamic floating panels, as Hero likes to call them. Now these big terms aside, I have every reason to believe that this is one of the best looking scooters in the 110cc segment, and it certainly looks better, more sporty as compared to the Honda Dio. And I forgot to tell you, that stubby exhaust certainly adds a sporty quotient to the scooter. Now it is time to fire it up and listen to it. Now how does it sound? You be the judge of it, and do let us know in the comment section below of how you think the Xoom sounds. The Hero Xoom might look as fresh as a cucumber, but it gets a familiar power plant. We have already seen this 110.9cc motor in the Maestro Edge 110 and Pleasure Plus. Even the performance figures are near identical, as they stand at 8.05 horsepower and 8.7 Newton meters of torque. The tune of the engine might be the same, but the lesser curve weight of 109 kilograms means that the acceleration feels a little quicker. The Xoom streaks towards 60 km per hour with relative ease and goes on to register a speedo indicated top speed of 87 km per hour. The scooter does feel grunty and peppy, but going by the way it looks, a little bit of more performance wouldn't have hurt. Now that being said, there aren't any major complaints in this department, as the Xoom is expected to keep up with its rivals pretty easily. The Xoom also gets Hero's i3S start-stop technology, which works flawlessly and should make the Xoom a little easier on the pocket as well. Now where the Xoom really shines and justifies its name pretty well is how easy and effortless it feels while flicking from side to side. Like we mentioned earlier as well, the 12-inch wheel setup at both ends have made the Xoom a super agile scooter. Even while taking corners, the stability on offer inspires enough confidence to commit to a turn and slay it.
Even though it gets the same frame as the other 110cc Hero scooters, the bike maker has introduced some changes to the suspension setup. It focuses more on providing an agile and sporty experience rather than being plush like the TVS Jupiter, for instance. The slightly stiff setting for the suspension setup might mean a fun riding experience, but as soon as bad roads arrive, you will have to shed some considerable speed because otherwise you might get a little closer to the stratosphere. The braking department is sorted too, with no surprises whatsoever. The combi brake system prevents the wheels from sliding under hard braking since it distributes the braking power evenly.
The Hero Xoom has many things going for it. It is one of the sportiest scooters that you can get in the 110cc scooter segment. And its sticker price is another testimony to the fact that Hero does know how to rule the hearts of the masses. But a little bit of more pep, just a little bit of more pep would have made the Xoom a lot more characterful. Because as far as looks go, as far as its overall styling goes, hands down it is the best looking scooter in the segment. It is not only high on style but high on features as well. So if you're looking for a sporty 110cc scooter that looks youthful, is packed with features and rides well, the Hero Xoom deserves a strong consideration. Now that being said, if practicality is up there in your priority list, look elsewhere, because it is a very compact thing and misses out on a few practical additions like turn-by-turn navigation, an external fuel filler cap or a bigger under-seat storage. Thanks for watching this video till the end. If you like what we do, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and don't forget to like and share as well. Now it is time to bid goodbye because we have a flight to catch in around 2 hours from now. Holy f***! Pack up!